Christmas Eve, 1991. A military convoy arrives at the Sandringham house in Norfolk. Chef Darren McGrady gets the crew ready for the big feast. Princess Diana is driving herself there, but she gets lost and stops at a roadside rest stop to ask for directions, where the locals are startled to see her. McGrady subsequently discovers Diana not far from the house, in a field near her old home. She points to the enormous scarecrow in the region where she used to dress as a child in her father's clothes. Diana approaches the scarecrow and takes off its jacket. Diana arrives at the banquet, greeting her boys William and Harry and spending time with them before dinner. Maggie, the royal dresser, looks to be Diana's friend. Diana puts on a pearl necklace as she prepares for dinner, but she tells another servant how she saw her husband Charles in a portrait with Camilla Parker Bowles and knew of their affair, which is why Diana initially left Charles. Diana later discovers a book on Anne Boleyn and talks to a mannequin about how Anne was executed by her husband after he fell in love with another lady and wished for her to be queen instead. Diana informs Maggie that she doesn't like the dress chosen for her to wear with the pearls, but she gradually relents as Maggie assists her. Diana attends the event, which also includes Charles and Queen Elizabeth. Diana sees Anne Boleyn's ghost sitting there as well. She imagines herself taking off the necklace, the pearls falling into the soup, and Diana eating the soup with the pearls within. She ultimately goes to the bathroom and forces herself to puke. Diana later walks into the kitchen and steals some sweets for herself. Gregory locates her, and when she inquires about his employment, he informs her that he is an equerry for the Queen. He observes Diana dressing and undressing by a window with the curtains open, and he speculates that a photographer may have spotted her because of the attention she draws to herself, but she is irritated by his remarks. She then walks outside toward her old residence, but she is stopped by 3 soldiers, who accompany her back to the house. When she returns, she wakes up William and Harry and invites them to a game. Diana discovers a new dresser assigned to her on Christmas morning, after Gregory reportedly had Maggie sent back to London. Diana tells the dresser that she prefers to only see Maggie and that she can rest herself because she feels more at ease with Maggie. Later, she joins the family for breakfast, during which Charles makes snide remarks about Diana purging her food. Diana joins the family at Mary Magdalene Church for a service. Diana notices Camilla, along with all the photographers, after the service. She becomes uneasy with everyone taking pictures of her. Gregory and other servants later comment on Diana's inappropriate attire for the occasion. Diana continues to read the Anne Boleyn book and is haunted by Anne's ghost. She wakes up to see Charles and other men firing rifles. She later tells him about his desire to take William and Harry pheasant hunting. Instead, he criticizes her own behavior, recalling the incident with the open curtains and telling her that she needs to have 2 sides to herself, the real one and the one that is presented to the public. It also turns out that he arranged for Maggie to be returned to London and that she placed the Anne Boleyn book in Diana's room to imply that her mental state is deteriorating. Elizabeth's Christmas speech is being watched by the entire family. Diana pauses outside after the viewing to speak with Elizabeth. Although she is friendly with Diana, she implies that they are viewed as currency. Diana later expresses her concerns to McGrady and requests wire cutters from him. She later sits outside the estate grounds and speaks to a pheasant, warning it of its fate. Gregory approaches Diana and sits down to speak with her. He discusses his company and how he and others have sworn their lives to the crown, with several dying for Diana and the other royals, but she says she never wanted anyone to die for her. Gregory, she believes, planted the Anne Boleyn book in her room for her to find, though he denies this. Preparations are being made for the evening's Christmas dinner. Diana discovers that the curtains have been sewed shut to keep unwanted onlookers out. She imagines herself being cut with the wire cutters. She also believes Maggie has returned, but it is only another servant. Diana eventually walks out of the house, seeing Anne's ghost following her until she sees herself dressed as Anne. Diana then abandons the dinner party and enters the grounds of her old house with the wire cutters. She walks through the dimly lit corridors of her old house and comes across her childhood bedroom, where she recalls spending Christmas there. Diana sits down and sobs as she recalls happier times, and then she sees Anne's ghost again. Only this time she speaks to Diana and tells her that she tore her own necklace off and encourages her to do the same with her pearls as a form of independence. Diana then imagines herself walking happily through the estate grounds by herself, as well as spending time with her sons. Maggie greets Diana when she wakes up on Boxing Day. They go to the beach and spend time together. Diana discusses her personal struggles with her marriage and her mental health with Maggie. Maggie confesses to Diana that she loves her, but she appears to be joking. She continues to assure Diana that what she truly requires is love. Diana drives to the grounds where the men are participating in the pheasant hunt and bids Maggie farewell. She mimics the pheasant's movements as she walks towards the men and their rifles. She summons William and Harry and informs Charles that she will be removing them. Charles hesitates but eventually agrees to let them accompany her. Diana bids McGrady and Maggie farewell before driving away. Gregory is also seen returning the Anne Boleyn book to the library. Diana takes the boys to KFC and orders under her maiden name
Spencer.
They spend the afternoon by the River Thames, where Diana gazes out at the water and mulls over an uncertain future.